All right, let's get right into it. There's this 5,000-word essay called Something Big is Happening by a tech CEO named Matt Shumer, and it has absolutely blown up. It's kicked off this huge debate about the future of work, AI, and whether we're standing on the edge of a massive revolution. So is this all just hype, or is there something real going on here? We're going to break down both sides. Shumer starts things off with this really powerful and honestly kind of unsettling analogy. He asks you to think back to early 2020. Remember that? The stock market was doing great, life felt normal, and this news about some virus far away, well, it just seemed like someone else's problem. He's arguing that right now, we are in that exact same this seems overblown moment, but this time it's about artificial intelligence. And look, this isn't just some little discussion happening in a corner of the internet. In just a couple of days, his essay was viewed over 65 million times on X alone. It clearly struck a nerve, which is exactly why we need to dig into what he's actually claiming. So first, let's really get into Shumer's main argument, that this sudden, world-changing transformation isn't coming. It's already here. He actually puts a date on it, a very specific one, February 5th, 2026. He predicts that's the day we'll see two major new AI models drop. And according to him, these aren't going to be just slightly better versions of what we have now. No, he says they'll represent a fundamental leap forward in what AI can do. The best way to understand this leap is with a kitchen analogy. Until now, AI has been like a sous chef. You have to give it very specific instructions. Chop these onions, stir this sauce. You have to check its work constantly. But the new models? They're the head chef. They're not waiting for orders. They design the whole menu, cook the meal, taste it, fix the seasoning, and then, only then, do they present you with the final finished plate. And that leads to this totally new way of working he talks about. See, as a software developer, he doesn't code line by line anymore. He just describes the app he wants in plain English. And the AI, it designs it, builds it, tests it for bugs, critiques its own work, and then rewrites the code to fix the problems. All of that happens in a black box, and he just gets the finished product at the end. Now, this isn't just a feeling he has. There's actually data to back this up. There's this group called MET that tracks how long an AI can work on a complicated task all by itself before a human has to jump in. A little while ago, it was about 10 minutes. By late 2025, they expect an hour. And with those new models he's talking about, 5 straight hours of independent, self-correcting work. That trend is, well, it's exponential. So you gotta ask, why is it moving so fast? The key concept here is called recursive self-improvement. It sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. The AI we have today is already good enough to help us design the even better AI of tomorrow. OpenAI has confirmed they used early models to help debug and improve the very code for the next versions. It's a feedback loop, an intelligence explosion. And all of this leads to a pretty stunning admission from Shumer himself. He says, as the CEO of an AI company, that he is no longer needed for the hands-on technical part of his job. The AI just does it better and faster. And if you scale that personal experience up, you get a wild prediction for the whole economy. Shumer points to the CEO of Anthropic, who predicted that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs in just 1 to 5 years. Shumer's point is that after those February 2026 releases, the 1-year end of that prediction is starting to look a lot more likely. Okay, but as you can imagine, not everyone is convinced. There are some really strong counterarguments that paint a very, very different picture. So let's hit the brakes and get a reality check. Critics, like an analyst named Ben Benson, really break down the skepticism into 3 main points. First, just because AI's is crushing it at software development, which is super structured, doesn't mean it can handle the messy human stuff in law or medicine. Second, there is a huge, huge gap between what a technology can do and what companies actually do with it. And third, just assuming these crazy growth curves will go on forever, well, that's a pretty big gamble. And here is the perfect example of that gap between capability and reality. For almost 10 years now, we've been hearing that AI is right around the corner from replacing all the radiologists. And you know what happened in that time? The number of radiologists actually went up. So why did that happen? Because new tech doesn't just get adopted because it's good. It slams into a wall of messy human systems. You got regulations, legal liabilities, you got to retrain people, and you have to convince customers who are skeptical. All of that real-world friction slows things way down. and it does not follow a nice, neat exponential curve. So you've got the case for a revolution on one side and a heavy dose of reality on the other. So what are we supposed to do? Hype or not, let's talk about the practical advice that actually comes from both sides of this argument. And what's fascinating is that whether you think this change is happening in 1 year or 10, the advice is basically the same. First, start using these tools for your actual work, not just for fun prompts. Second, prepare for a rockier career path by building up a financial safety net. And third, and this is the big one, make learning and adapting a daily habit because no matter what, the ground is shifting under our feet. And here's the absolute kicker. The price to get your hands on the most powerful, cutting-edge AI models on the planet, the one Shumer is talking about, is about $20 a month. The financial barrier to get in the game, it's gone. It's basically zero. So what that means is the real investment isn't your money anymore, it's your time. The single biggest piece of advice from everyone in this space is to commit to what you could call the 1 hour a day rule. Spend 1 hour every single day, not reading about AI, but actually using it, pushing its limits, seeing where it fails, and building your own gut feeling for what this stuff can really do. And that really brings us to the final big question this whole debate leaves us with. The technology is real, a wave of change has absolutely formed, and it's heading for the shore. So the only question left for you, for me, for everyone, is pretty simple. Are you going to learn how to surf, or are you just going to stand on the beach and wait to see what happens?